lot of times people are just scrolling on Zillow and they click it just for more information and they're not really looking for a house.
Yeah.
So it's like, these are such valuable leads that you're getting. All you have to do is put in like a little bit of work on the back end and create this free resource for people and then set it up. And then like, it's a no-brainer. When I get a new follower, every single follower, I say, thanks for the follow. Which particular reel made you want to follow me?
Oh, you're asking that specific question
To every single new follower.
What are the things about social media, maybe one or two things about social media or your approach to social media that you feel like have worked well for you?
I honestly think that the biggest thing is just being consistent, doing it daily, making a commitment, not overthinking it. Because I know a lot of people are focused on trying to go viral with everything. And for me, it's like, I just want to show up every day because I look at it as a form of prospecting.
Yeah.
You know, you can spend a lot of time trying to type up captions and stuff like that and type up new ideas and try to come up with creative things, or you can build a system as you go along.
Hey guys, welcome back to More Than a Mortgage. This podcast is really all about storytelling. Tim Smith is a friend of the show. We're grateful that he gave us episode 1, which was awesome. Really want to plug that. A fantastic introductory episode. We got to learn a little bit about Tim. And so we'll put that here, a link on the screen. You guys can go listen to that or watch that on YouTube, listen to it on wherever you get your podcast. The goal today is really to provide additional value. We want to get more of Tim's story out there, but more topical in nature. So our goal today is to just hear from Tim, learn from Tim. And we're excited that he decided to come back and join us on the show. So Tim, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Let's just jump right into it. I was going to, I've got a little bit of a script. So this is probably our first time that we've, as a show, tried to be a little bit more scripted rather than just totally organic. But of course, we want to be as organic as we can be because that's where the gold comes from. But anyway, what I would say is you're a guy who probably has the largest social media following of any of my guests so far, which is a compliment. And we appreciate that. So what I would say is you've kind of become a little bit of a social media guru. Would you think of yourself that way?
No, I don't at all, actually. And I have a lot of realtors that reach out to me and ask to talk to me to give them advice. And I always feel like I have imposter syndrome. Like I don't feel like I'm qualified to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just literally figured this out by trial and error and watching people like Jimmy Conover, Jenna Peterson, and watching what they're doing. And I just kind of copied their blueprint. And then I'm still experimenting every day. So I don't feel like I have all the advice. I don't have a guide that I can sell to people of how to, do well on social media.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't consider myself a guru at all. But I mean, I've learned some stuff over the.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I love your humility, honestly. And we kind of planned this, so I knew your answer to that. So my hope was that question was enough to get us kind of kickstarted here. But social media for sure is something that you employ as a strategy, right? And I think it'd be silly for us to try to argue that you're not successful with social media. So I would kind of tee that up for you and say, what are the things about social media, maybe one or two things about social media or your approach to social media that you feel like have worked well for you?
I honestly think that the biggest thing is just being consistent, doing it daily, making a commitment, making it a priority, not overthinking it. Because I know a lot of people are focused on trying to go viral with everything, putting a ton of time into each reel. And for me, it's like, I just want to show up every day because I look at it as a form of prospecting, just top of mind for people and helping people get to know who I am on a personal level too. So like a lot of what I focus on is just my stories, right? I'll post little things here and there of what I'm doing throughout the day. And as far as reels go, over time, I've tried to create a system that's a little bit more efficient versus spending an hour or two trying to put together a reel and trying to be creative. So I just, like as in, you can spend a lot of time trying to type up captions and stuff like that and type up new ideas and try to come up with creative things, or you can build a system as you go along. So for me, like I use Trello and I put all my captions on there so that I can reuse the same reels later on. Yeah. Right. So, cause coming up with new ideas all the time is pretty difficult. So that's the biggest roadblock for a lot of people is that they feel like they have to recreate the wheel. Yeah. When you can just.
That was like a Freudian slip right there.
It was.
That was awesome.
Oh, that's true.
Recreate the reel. Recreate the wheel.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So you've got a system, and I think that's kind of one of the things that you're most proud of. not just about social media, right?
Yeah.
But you feel like you're in the process of building systems for your business as well. Other than systematizing social media, is there any other kind of lessons that you've learned that you would say if somebody asked, like me, right? I'm a pretty amateur social media guy.
Yeah.
Like, what would you recommend for me? Or if I was an agent, what would you recommend from a consistency standpoint or from I mean, we talked in person the other day and I was like, hey, what about like posting like personal things? Does that make a lot of sense? What's your opinion there?
Yeah. As far as posting personal things, I actually experimented with this at the beginning too, because I'm big into going to the gym and everything. So I thought, oh, I'll just post like some motivational type reel. It's totally opposite of what I am. Like, I'm a realtor, and that's what the purpose of my page is.
Right.
And I've learned that it kind of confuses things. It confuses the algorithm. Like, from what I've heard, you're essentially training the algorithm, right? Like, you're finding your target audience. And if all of a sudden you're posting stuff about going to the gym in the middle of it all, it's not going to get as much of a reach. So I think being consistent with what you post and the topics is pretty important. And then if you want to do something opposite of that, put it on your story, because that's more of like talking about your personal life, or, because I'll share motivational quotes on my stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't switch it up with the reels.
So for somebody that's like super amateur, like I used to be, and I'm still pretty amateur when it comes to social media, I'm working on it. But what is the purpose of a story, maybe? And then what is the purpose of a reel? Or do those have different audiences? What would you say?
So the purpose of a story is getting your current audience that follows you to get to know, like, and trust you more. And that's basically it. And you want to show up, 3 to 5 times a day on your stories if you can.
Okay.
Because every time that you post something, like, say I post something in the morning, then I post something at 2:00, your little ring on your story pops up and it like puts it to the front, and then people click on that. It encourages them to click on it. It's about staying top of mind at the end of the day. So I have kind of a strategy where I just try to post, 4 or 5 times a day, and then they just keep being reminded that Tim's up to something. He's doing something. What's Tim up to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for reels, you're trying to attract a new audience.
Okay.
That's it's free marketing, and so you're just putting it out there, and if you can reach 1,000 people, 2,000 people that find out who you are, that's kind of the goal. And it's a slow, long process, but you're building a brand slowly. It takes time. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So not a microwave, more of a crock pot.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. So for somebody that might be brand new to this and is trying to get consistent on social media, is trying to make sense of it, if they want to nurture their existing followers, their existing audience, you want to do that through stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And you would say multiple times per day if possible.
Yeah, if possible, 3 to 5 times.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the goal there is what? What are you trying to communicate to that audience that you're nurturing?
Well, I mean, there's strategies you can use to get leads through the stories. I mean, you can put polls up there, ask them what their time frame is, what they're looking for in a house.
Yeah.
The goal is really just, it's being top of mind. That's how I think of it. It's just showing up and reminding people that you exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it could be the right time, perfect timing. And then someone's like, hey, by the way, I'm looking to buy a house, or, hey, I'm thinking about relocating. That's the way I look at it. And, I started real estate at, old school, where you have to call people and then you have to text people every few months and try to stay in touch. And to me, it's like, you might as well just do it this way, because it's like a soft follow-up, right? Like you're just like saying hi to people through social media.
Yep.
So
use the stories as a way to stay in touch with people and nurture a relationship, to let people know what you're up to, primarily just to stay top of mind, right?
Yeah.
And leverage that ring on Instagram that is very...
Yeah, just that shows up every time.
Yeah, that's kind of eye-catching. It's like, ooh, what's Tim up to, or whatever, whoever the person is you're following.
Yeah, and I'll also add, like, engaging with other people's content as well. Like, you do it really well. Like, you'll respond to my stories sometimes, or like stories. I do that as well with, like, I'll follow people that follow me or that become clients.
Yeah.
And then I stay in touch with them on a personal level, right? Like, just responding to stuff.
Yeah. I think social media can be kind of intimidating, especially when you're just getting started, because I don't know that we really know what we should post, or should it be a story, or should it be a reel, or...
Yeah.
I had a guy, I was at a conference recently in Dallas, and I may have said this on camera before already, but I thought he just had a really good way about it. He's like, hey, it's weird because it's not real life, but at the same time, there's real people that you're interacting with and engaging with on social media. So pretend you're walking into a room with people, and how you would engage those people in real life is the lens you should look through with how you would engage them on social media.
Right.
So if you're only posting once a month and it's only like National Cheeseburger Day or it's National Dog Day or whatever it is. Like you would never walk into a room in the middle of 20, 30 people and just be like, it's National Cheeseburger Day. Boom, drop that quote and then walk out. Like, and so people wonder, like, why does social media not work for me? Well, because you're not treating it like you would in real life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, there's no value in what you just said, right? Like you should add value. And that's how I look at it is every post has some sort of value in it. Yeah. Something you can read in the caption that might be an insight for them to share or save, for later or something like that. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah.
And then Reels, you're saying if we're trying to attract a greater audience or new followers, that's where we should be posting that content, right? And Reel content is in theory different than what someone should post in a story. Is that the way you would explain that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, for the Reels, you're trying to strategize a little bit and reach an audience. So there's like keywords that you use. Like, I use you're moving from California to Idaho. Yeah. You hit those keywords and it targets that audience. Yeah. So there's definitely strategy when it comes to posting Reels because you're trying to reach a certain person. Stories, you can just get a little bit more personal and you can actually do like talking to the camera and having them get to know who you are a little bit better once they are following you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So then, I guess somebody that's looking in stories is probably looking for that more human interaction, that more personal touch. Yeah. Of, hey, I'm interested in, and I would say this, I love your content. Your music choice is always great. It's very eye-catching. It wants to, and that's how we got started. It was like, we saw your Reels and that drew us in. And then of course, now as a lazy social media consumer, I'm usually just looking at stories for the most part of the people that I follow and engaging for primarily that way. That feels a little bit more personal as opposed to scrolling through Reels or other posts. But
it's funny you mentioned the music though, because I've gotten a lot of feedback from that. Just my music taste. I post that, and that's it's a personal connection with people, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely
using nostalgic music that can create, an experience for them. I don't know. I think all those things matter when you're trying to put together a reel or even on stories, using my music taste as a way to get to know people. I've had people be like, oh, you listen to that band? Oh, that's one of my favorite bands. So it's kind of cool.
We had a guest in here last week, Kyle Frederickson. His episode hasn't even dropped yet.
That's how we connected, by the way.
Was music?
Through music, yeah. I think I posted like a Blink-182 song, and he's like, dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
You have such rad taste in music.
Yeah, we just kept rolling, talking about music and being a 90s kid and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So good old music there that today's generation probably isn't as exposed to. But hey, you're exposing them through Instagram.
Yeah, and it's kind of trendy right now, the whole nostalgic feeling, like going back to the 90s and the early 2000s. Yeah. I think it's a good strategy. I've been using it a lot as far as my Reels go. I always pick something nostalgic on for the music.
You said something to me in a conversation recently, and so I don't want to just gloss over that. And I just said a word that Amy says I say all the time, which is gloss over. So there you go, gloss. You had mentioned that it's actually okay to repost things, and that some of the people that you follow, some of the more successful people that you follow, will often reuse content. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've been trying not to do that for a long time because the way I thought of it is it's like, that's annoying for your current audience to see the same thing over and over again. So I still struggle with doing that.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing other real estate agents become successful with it because you can see it's kind of luck at the end of the day with the algorithm. Like I'll see one of his posts will be 20,000 views and then next thing you know, it's 1 million views.
Yeah.
And he's getting the results he wants. So yeah, I mean, you can repost the same reel. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with having a system where you have Trello and you have your captions already ready to go and you just copy and paste it and make it efficient.
Yeah.
He's just going through like a cycle of 15 of the exact same reels and redoing it over and over again. And he's got 600 posts and 40,000 followers and it works. It's kind of the point in that. And I think that it's important to keep in mind that you're using the reels as a strategy to get a new audience. Mm-hmm. And so he's getting that. And then, like I was saying earlier, you use the stories to convert the audience, right? To get them to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
So
great segue. I think this question, I'm going to read it here just to make sure that we stay on track. So a lot of folks can get likes or views, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people out there that can get likes or views, but that's where maybe it ends for them. So as you're talking about systems, so walk us through your mindset when someone likes a post, comments on a post, follows you, what would happen next? Because ultimately, you're not looking for just engagement, right? Mm-hmm. As a real estate agent, you're hoping to find clients, right? And then be able to close deals for them, right? So.
Yeah. No, I take it super serious actually, because it's been the main main driver of my business the last year and a half. So as far as like when I get a new follower, every single follower I say, thanks for the follow. Which particular reel made you want to follow me?
Oh, you're asking that specific question
To every single new follower.
It's funny. I was in a coffee shop this morning and some guy came across the room to me and I said, hey, did you just start a new business? He's like, yeah, I did. And I said, I saw that on Instagram. He's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I got an automated reply from you that said, thanks for following me. And I'm like, that wasn't automated.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, no, I said, that's actually me. I said, hey, thanks for following. He's like, oh, most people are just automated on that lately. So
I think that's why I had the same fear. I actually used ManyChat for a minute as automation to do it. And then it created like a barrier because you had to click on yes or no or about something. So I stopped doing that, but asking them a question is engaging them and making them have to feel like they have to answer. So
yeah. So you're acknowledging and thanking them for the follow, but then you're saying which reel or which content attracted them.
Yeah.
I guess it'd be a reel because it probably wouldn't have been a story, right? If it's
it would have been a reel. So you ask them which one and then that starts the conversation. Then you kind of lead from there. So
I like that.
Yeah. I think there's other forms of communication throughout it too. Like I use the relocation guide, seller's guide in most of my reels, which is like the lead magnet.
Yep.
And when someone downloads my guide, I have, follow up of, hey, do you mind me asking where you might be moving from? Or, I have a whole list of questions that I have set, to ask to keep the conversation going.
You're actually being a real person.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is where it all happens, right? It's not just everyone's DMing me saying, hey, I want to buy $1 million house tomorrow, right? Like
that'd be cool though.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. And it does happen sometimes. You do get direct messages from people that are just ready to go and they've already chosen you as an agent, which is kind of the beautiful thing about social media. It's like they've behind the scenes gotten to know you for 6 months and you didn't even realize it, because you keep showing up.
They've been watching.
And then, but the work is, on the realtor side is to understand your systems and understand how to have a conversation with people and what specific questions to ask to get them from point A to point B, and get in front of them.
Yeah, I love it. So when they follow, you engage, not just an automated thanks for following. It's an actual thanks for following. What piece of content, which reel were you, got you in here? And then I think in every single one of your captions, right? And maybe just be clear for the dummies that are watching, caption is like the description, right? It's down below.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where all the value is.
Because in YouTube, it's not called a caption, right? That would be like in YouTube, I think that's called a description.
Yep.
But on Instagram, it's so the value's in the caption. So what you're trying to do, you want your post to draw them in and get them to scroll to your caption. Is that the goal?
Yeah. So it'll say something like 5 red flags that you should look for when you're doing your home inspection report.
It's a hook, right?
Yeah. There's your hook. You got the B-roll and the song or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the caption, they're going to sit and read through it and be like, oh, this is really good information. I'm going to share this with my friend. And then that helps the algorithm. And part of the value in the caption, when you have a nice long caption, is that your video is playing in the background the whole time, getting watch time, which feeds the algorithm more. So yeah, that's usually what ends up helping posts go viral is, watch time, shareability, likability, comments. It's all those things put together.
So as a student of the game, would you tell someone the longer the caption, the better? Or is there kind of a sweet spot there?
Yeah, I think definitely longer captions for sure. I'll space out my sentences a lot too. So they have to keep scrolling down. So the video is always playing in the background.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I do a lot too.
And you're writing out your caption every single time, right? Redoing it?
See, I don't do that. That's where you got the systems.
Yeah. Got it. So there's some efficiencies there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that can help with intimidation factor. It's like, hey, if I need to post again, oh crud, there's like a lot of work to make this happen, but not necessarily, right? If you've got a system of what you want to post.
Yeah.
And so for you, you're oftentimes like text on screen, which is your hook, right? And then your B-roll, you'll change that up. And your song, you've got, I don't know, probably 100 different songs or more than you'll cycle through. But then you've got efficiency with your caption.
Yeah. And as far as the songs go too, I have a playlist that I create on Spotify. I'm always listening for hooks or like for something that relates to what the reel is going to be about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can connect the two, like whatever your topic is with the music.
Yeah.
So I have a running playlist where like any cool 10-second section in a song that sounds like it'd be cool for reel, I save it and keep it for later. So it's another one of those systems things that I've built out over time.
Love it.
Yeah.
Efficiencies there.
Yeah.
Okay. You said something else too that I'm just learning about. Again, student of all this as well, lead magnet. I'm actually in the middle of having a website created and my guy, his name's Jared Nelson, really good dude locally. He's like, hey, we need a lead magnet. Well, let's work on that. So yesterday I was working on what a lead magnet could be. Do you want to tell us what a lead magnet is and what yours is and why it's helpful?
Yeah. It's the relocation guide, Idaho relocation guide. So it's free. And, you just put comment guide for my free relocation guide. So you're giving someone free value. And for one, it indicates that they're thinking about relocating from somewhere. So you automatically have an idea of what they're thinking. You give them that, and that creates the conversation, right? So that's one lead magnet. You have seller's guide. So if you're trying to attract people that are thinking about selling their house, you have a guide put together that's also free. That indicates if someone comments that indicates that they're thinking about selling their house maybe. Got new construction guide. You can just keep coming up with guides.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all lead magnets. So
perfect.
yeah.
So basically someone gets that in exchange for them giving you their contact information, right?
Yes. Yeah. They have to, give you their name and email, and then you put them in your CRM.
And they're probably, I would say, at least warm if they're willing to do that, because they probably wouldn't be looking for that piece of content from you if they weren't in the market, right? If they didn't have some sort of interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. Again, like coming from doing this in 2016, 2017, a lead used to be anyone who even said the word house. Like, you know what I mean? Like you click on contact agent on Zillow, and a lot of times people are just scrolling on Zillow and they click it just for more information. They're not really looking for a house.
Yeah.
So it's like, these are such valuable leads that you're getting. All you have to do is put in like a little bit of work on the back end and create this free resource for people, and then set it up. And then like, it's a no brainer if you're looking for leads, which as a realtor, that's what we're doing.
100%.
And as a lender. So
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the back end system then. So let's say I give you my name, email address, whatever it is, in exchange for that piece of content, which is called a lead magnet.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next? Where does my information go? And what is your system? And what does your process look like at that point?
So if they actually go through and put their email and name in there, I'll get an email. So I have a store, kind of like LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, whatever you were using. I can't remember. Linktree. It's like
it's
that.
Called Stan Store.
Stan Store.
Stan.store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that hosts your lead magnet, your guides and everything like that. You can put your website on there. But if they actually put their email and name in there, I'll get an email with their email name, and then I just transfer their name into my CRM system. And then I have an email drip system for that set in place to where it follows up with them. Because at that point, I don't have their phone number yet, that's the only struggle, is like you can add that step to the process, but I feel like it creates more resistance if you ask for their phone number. So I'm just kind of happy with their email and name at the time.
Well, and Instagram has become a really, call it, easy way to communicate with people as well, right?
Exactly. And you can just, most of my prospecting is done through the DMs. Yeah. So I have a whole follow-up system in the DMs. So like I was saying, so some people will give you their email. Most people won't. They'll comment guide to get your relocation guide, but then they'll immediately be resistant to putting their email in. And so
they don't get the content, right? Is that
they
right?
don't, but that doesn't mean they don't want it. It just means they don't want to put their email and get spammed by someone, which I totally understand. So I have, you'll say, hey, I noticed that you wanted to get my free location guide. Did you have any trouble downloading that? And I just start trying to, figure out.
Engage them.
Yeah. And say, can I send it to you? I promise I won't take your, I won't spam you or anything like that. And, ask the other questions of trying to see what their goals are if they're trying to move here, so.
Cool. So if they're, and a lot of people are resistant to giving their email address.
Yeah.
Certainly would be more resistant probably to giving a phone number.
Mm-hmm.
The other day I got sucked into as I was scrolling through stories,
mm-hmm.
every other story I saw was an ad for insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got great insurance partners. So I don't know why I clicked on this, but I was just attractive enough. I was like, I'll just click on this.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Mm-hmm.
So my email, of course, got spammed, but I gave him my phone number. So now I get like 7-8 texts a day.
Oh, geez.
I'm just like, stop.
Yeah.
Delete, report, all the things trying to get out of. So I can understand why people would be thoughtful and careful, not wanting to give their stuff out just because they're just going to get pounded.
Yeah, for sure. It's annoying.
Yeah.
I get it.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I think we kind of already hit this. I'm going to ask it anyway, and then we'll just breeze by it if there's nothing else here. But your lead magnet would drive connection to folks. Then it would go into some sort of a CRM database with an email campaign, ideally, right? But the whole way through, you're hoping that people feel human engagement as opposed to just automated drip engagement, right? Is your goal there?
Yeah.
Any other systems or tools that your team uses to try to continue to move them through? I'm going to use a business word, through the funnel, right? Is really what we're trying to do here.
I mean, just really dialing in your scripts and how you have these conversations. That's crucial to me. Conversations lead to conversion. So asking the right questions, and I have my assistant helping me with a lot of this. So I'm training him, and yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of working on optimizing my systems and making it more efficient and strategizing that. But I think that just the way you talk to someone, asking the right kind of questions, that's where the magic is, really.
Would you say your lead volume increased substantially when you started offering your relocation guide?
Oh yeah, you have to have it. Like, it's a must.
Okay.
For sure. I didn't even start getting leads until I had that. So when I first started the first 6 months, I didn't have any systems in place. It was more just like, how do I post a reel? What is a story? I was kind of like in that boat where I didn't know what was going on. So I was just starting to post and figure it out as I go. And then I realized, oh yeah, you got to have this, lead magnet. And so I got the lead magnet and just build the ship as you're sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like an aha moment even for me listening here, because I don't have a lead magnet on my Instagram page at this point in time, but I did just build a lead magnet yesterday for my website.
Yeah.
So I should probably implement and add a lead magnet to my Instagram page as well, is what you're saying.
It's crucial. Yeah. I mean, that's the goal is to do that. So, yeah.
And so what you would tell other agents that are just trying to figure this out is lead magnet.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
It's hard too, because it's time consuming creating the lead magnet. And if you're not good at that kind of stuff, which I'm not good at that stuff, like creating a guide, you have to go on Canva and put this whole thing together. Yeah. It's, take some time.
The actual written part of it can be pretty easily created with the help of our AI friends out there.
That's true. But you also want it to sound human and yourself. So you have to go through and edit it. And
yeah, it's just such a helpful first or second or third draft though too. And you want to, of course, add your human touch to it, but there's almost no excuse for any of us to have writer's block at this point any longer.
It's very true.
Because AI can give you something to at least kickstart you in the right direction.
You could probably use AI to create a guide, honestly, at this point. You could probably just put a prompt in and it's done in 30 seconds.
You could probably say, hey, go scroll Instagram and find me some folks that have, 20,000 plus followers that have some sort of lead magnet and aggregate, the most successful ones and build me that. Like we could probably plug that into AI right now. And
I'm sure
it probably just did it. It's listening to us.
Right.
It's going to be in our inbox.
Right.
Well, this has been awesome. For agents that are listening, or maybe that, they're intimidated, they don't feel like an expert, they feel they're behind and they're just trying to get started, right? They're overthinking things maybe. What would you encourage them? How would you encourage them specifically? What's like a good first, second, third step for them?
Oh gosh. I mean, I was in that boat because I was very intimidated by the whole thought and really resistant to it. I think that I had like a limiting belief in my head for the first few years doing real estate. I just was like, I don't want anything to do with it. And I've heard a lot of my collegues say, I don't want anything to do with it. It's just not my thing, right? Like
social media is not my thing.
It's not my thing. I don't want to put my family out there. I don't want to, there's all these excuses that are, going on. And it's like, well, what if it worked though? Like, what if this got you business? Would it be your thing? Well, yeah. And it's like, all right, so you just need to start learning it and doing it. So for me, I don't learn by studying things. I learn from doing things personally. Yeah. And so I would suggest that you just start, like with anything, and don't overthink. My brother-in-law, he's my assistant. He's literally on this journey right now as we speak. And
what's his name?
Kyler.
That's right.
And he's just always overthinking all the reels. He'll show me it and like, what should I do here? What should I do here? I'm like, you should stop overthinking it. You should just post it, send it, like just go for it. And then you learn from the results. So this one flopped. This one only got like 1,000 views. No one cares about it or likes it. Don't do that anymore. Like do something different or change the music. You know what I mean? So I would that's it. I mean, just start moving in some direction towards it. And then eventually you'll start getting some momentum with it and you'll pick up some other insights. I would also suggest following a bunch of different realtors, right? And seeing what they're in, because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, you're not trying to recreate the wheel. You're just trying to copy and paste what other people are doing and what's making them successful. And I still do the same thing. I'm not copying everyone's reel word for word or anything like that.
No.
But I am seeing what's working, studying what's working, and just applying it to my reels in my own style.
Yeah. Appreciate those insights. Love your humility. Definitely think you're more of an expert than you probably give yourself credit for. There's a lot of people that are going to find value in this conversation today. So thanks for being transparent. Thanks for sharing. I learned stuff. That's always my goal in these conversations is that we don't script them so heavily ahead of time that I don't have any room to learn as well. So I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you being on the show today.
No problem. Thank you.
Before we sign off though, just like we've always done, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you?
On my Instagram. That's the best thing. Yeah.
Okay.
My Real Estate Dude on Instagram.
Love it.
Yep.
Go like one of his posts, go engage with one of his posts, send him a DM, see the human interaction in real time. And we think, like others, people are gonna like you. So the goal here is build relationship. We want people to know, like, and trust you.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go, this is kind of an interesting thing. How many leads would you say you're getting per week or per month from Instagram?
Depends on what you consider a lead. I mean, is every follower a lead?
I don't know. I mean, you can define it different ways. I think you could, anybody asking for a relocation guide, you could potentially say that's a lead.
Those are all leads, but I've changed my mindset to every single follower is a lead. Right?
Every follower is a lead.
Every single person, because how many, like, think about your sphere. Aren't they all like, and I hate to reduce people to leads, but like, like your family, your church, everyone you network with is potentially a lead. They might need to sell their house. They might need a mortgage.
Yeah.
So everyone.
Yes.
That's what it is. So I guess I get quite a few then if you look at it that way. For the relocation guide or for the lead magnets, I probably get like 10 to 20 a week.
So that's quite a few
something
people.
Like opportunities, but then the conversion is probably like, I don't know, 5% or something. I probably get like one solid lead I might get one solid lead a week.
Okay. Well, that's
which is better.
Still good.
Yeah, it's not bad. A lot of times you pay for that, right? You pay
absolutely
a lot of money to maybe get 1 out of 20.
Yeah.
So,
well, and then you have to slog through the fact that the other 19 that are not really great leads.
And you have to go through the process of following up and
Correct.
trying to find out if they're going to actually respond to you or not, or kind of reverse prospect them is what I call it, where you're like, just get them to say no. Get them to say, leave me alone. And then you know where we stand here.
I know.
So
yeah, I think that's actually a really great way to possibly wrap this up is the more honest we can be and authentic we can be with people, the faster we can get them to tell us what their intentions are.
Yeah.
The better off everyone's going to be.
Yeah. Like I'm comfortable with rejection. I invite you to reject me. If that's like, tell me that you're good. Like you don't need help.
Yeah.
Or you're not shopping or whatever. I just want to be told because my thought is, it seemed like you're raising your hand like you're thinking that you wanted to maybe buy a house or something like that. Right. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then let's just end the conversation. I'll leave you alone.
And then you said something gold as well that I'll just kind of piggyback on here and then we'll wrap this up. But we have our strongest competitive advantage with the people that are in our sphere. We absolutely do, right? Everybody knows other lenders. Everybody knows other real estate agents. Everybody knows other service providers. But if you can build a relationship with people and be top of mind, and if you can provide them value, then in theory, they're yours to lose, right? Is the way to think about it.
So, right. No, I like that.
Yeah. Cool, man. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah. Thanks.